Yo, this is Gabe, Arrogant Marketing, sitting here with Jezudepaz. Just hanging out, wanted to talk with him about Mr. recent experience. Just came off the tour. He's got music lined up, music just released. And so I wanted to talk with him about his experience, what day-to-day life was on tour and what he learned about the experience.
Yeah, so glad to be here. And thank you for the opportunity to be able to do this. Honestly, I just recently dropped Echoes of Ladder with a homie, Salazar from Juarez. He's here in Santa Fe. We did that song just talking about, just coming out the hood and shit. Like our experience there. And then before that one, I just dropped NMWA, which is a corrido. It was the song that I wanted to do since I was just young, and it just came together now that all these new sounds and styles were hitting, so I just decided to do that. The tour was pretty good, man. It was an amazing experience. It was my second tour with So Cold NMWA. Shout out to them. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, the first time we went to Denver, we went to this other side of the world, and then now this time we get to go to California, Vegas, and Arizona. So it was for sure a different experience, and it was just pretty dope to see so many independent artists coming together, you know what I mean? We didn't even know each other, and then somehow by before even the middle of the tour, everybody was kind of already starting to, get close and kind of understand each other's backstories and understand their styles and how they were performing. So that was a pretty amazing experience to see, just traveling, that's been the best for me. So.
Oh yeah, no, that's one of the most important parts I try to talk with artists about a lot is getting outside of your own city. That's where the support is. You're gonna get more support from a stranger than you are, someone you know your whole life. You got sisters, brothers, cousins, moms, dads, uncles, all that stuff. You post something and they might not even like it or even click the link. And it's all good, they don't owe you anything. But whenever you're out on the road, you're meeting people, you're shaking hands, you're kissing babies, it's like grassroots, like politics style of growth is when you're doing all that, like you're meeting people who are rocking with you as like a person, your brand, your narrative. And then they, get to know the music, and so they have something to attach it to. So it's really a really important part of that. And not just that, of course, awareness of different markets. Like what's hip hop in Arizona like? What's hip hop in Nevada like? What's hip hop in California like?
Yeah.
What are the people like? What do the fans want? It makes you more rounded of an artist. And a salute to NMWA, for putting it on. And you guys are doing something amazing for the state. We really appreciate it. And I wanted to ask you a little bit more about that. So this was your second tour with them.
Yeah, this was my second tour.
What would you say, did you say that everybody on tour realized how important it was? Was it, a good step for everybody?
Yeah, I think that this was a big opportunity that we didn't want to miss. Life goes on, there's ups and downs all the time, so we never thought, me especially, I never thought that I would be able to get an opportunity like this. Yeah. So when I got it for a second chance, I took it 100%, and I know what I had to do, and I know what was going to come with it. So I'm pretty sure all the other artists and DJs that were there, they kind of already had that feeling of what they were prepared to do, you know what I mean? Yeah. They were all prepared to get on the stage and just kill it, and they practiced their shit, they know what they were gonna bring to the table. So when they got it, it was just pretty amazing to see that everybody had a different style and how that was all part of New Mexico, So
yeah, no, it's amazing. I love that it's pushing the culture forward. It's really awesome to see just the artists and the lineup. It was really cool. I try to support as much as possible. God's saying is you be our family, so anything that he's doing, he's got my support, he's got the team's support. Anyway, that's what's going to take the state to the next level, and that's what I want to talk about. Is you mentioned that everybody kind of got together and started learning more about each other, and it's going to take that unity. Have you noticed that you have a little bit stronger of a support system now that you've gone on tour with these guys? Do you still keep in contact? Do you listen to each other's music? Do you support each other? Because that's the growth that people need to see too.
Yeah.
Not only as you, but audiences as well.
Yeah. No, for sure. Once we came back from the tour, I think the fact that everybody got closer, and towards the end, we already knew it was gonna be over. We knew that we were gonna go back to our daily lives, and we wouldn't know when we were gonna go back on tour again or even see each other again. But I remember when I got off from tour, I was messaging some people, and some people were messaging me. Asking me about features and that we needed to work on a song, and we had talked about it on tour. But the fact that it still stayed that same way once we got back from tour kind of just motivated me a lot more to just push more with them, because not a lot of people want to get together like that. Everybody kind of wants to be on their own. So when everybody comes united, it's just the energy, everything, the force, everything, the feeling just is strong.
Exactly. No, those are good points, man. I mean, I think that's important. It's awesome to hear that you still have some of that camaraderie after the tour ends, because it is all the time. Hip hop, the community is very cutthroat. It's a competition. If you're trying to get to the top of your game, you're out there. You're trying to get up there before anybody else does. And I understand it. Competition is good. It drives progress.
Yeah.
But at the same time, New Mexico is such a small state, and we need to develop our infrastructure here. I think it's super important that everybody works together to achieve a larger goal and to make a lot of those success stories happen.
Yeah.
And that really isn't going to happen when people fighting each other. You can compete healthy, but you can also support each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really enjoy seeing the whole process. It was really cool to see, and I'm hoping that with this and with just putting out more about your music and everybody else on tour, I'm hoping that the next tour is even bigger and better, and that you have more of the state support. So when you're out there, you got more people watching and just supporting. Like that's important to have the city behind you. So that's what I'm hoping. The city, the state, hopefully take something from it. What can you give to the people that explains or shows how important it is for artists to be part of them? Like, what would you say you learned from the tour maybe that showed what unity can do?
For sure. Well, I would say that it's gonna motivate you to want to work harder, because you see how everybody else is working, and sometimes we say life messes up, and it just brings us back. But when you see that everybody kind of has the same story, the same pain, and they're working, and you're just all right, there's no excuses, And at the end of the day, I would say that 100%, just put no excuses. And just go harder every day. Anytime you feel like you are not doing it, or you don't know if it's gonna make it or even happen, just take that thought out of your head and keep pushing. Because at the end of the day, man, besides doing it for your family, you're doing it for yourself, and everybody else is also doing it for themselves. And they all have a purpose and a reason why they're doing it, And we put our time, we put our money into all this just to try to see what we can make, and what we can create out of all this. So, for sure, a lot of motivation, man.
That's good. And that's respectable, man. I think the amount of work that artists put into their craft is really telling about who they are as a person. I don't think the majority of people that listen to music understand the depth of the whole process. The writing, and then we get them to the studio, and the whole studio process, the recording, and then the mixing, the mastering, the performing, the reciting, practicing over and over, and then remembering all of it. So
getting bored of your songs.
Yeah. I mean, you might hear a song 1,000 times, before you even hit the stage. And then you hit the stage with it and you're performing over and over. And it's a lot of work. So I respect it. I hope more people start to go out to the shows and support, even any way they can. Because it is, that work that you put in is amazing to see. NMWA, the work that they're putting in is amazing to see. And it takes people like you to be a pioneer to grow New Mexico hip hop culture. So I appreciate you jumping on, doing an interview. Yeah. But definitely let the people know what you got coming. Let them know anything that you want to mention, anybody that you want to shout out, and just let us know where we can find your music for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate you guys having me here. Shout out to Arrows for sure for letting us do this in the studio with short time. Also to Gabriel for helping me push out this music and reaching spots that I didn't even know I could reach, like Ecuador. I never thought my music would be able to be heard over there. Or even Compton, my corridos. It's just crazy to see where your music can go. But I do want to shout out, again, I said So Cold, Michael, Purple Ash, and Legit, Godsent, Billy the Kid for putting us on this shit. Mm-hmm. And honestly, like I said, just keep pushing on that shit. If you guys want to work, just hit me up. I am going to be having a song dropping about next week or the week after. It's going to be called Starboy with my boy Legit, R.I.P. Hedokio. And just wait for that shit. Find my music on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere on Jezudepaz.com.